Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Nina Williams in Depth. I'm a friendly tree and I'm going to be talking to you today about cross-ups at the wall. So this is a requested video and I'm going to do it in a bit of a different format. It's probably just going to be outright talking. I'll try and do some timestamps if I can figure out how to do it. I'll try and break this up in a way to keep it simple for people to follow. First off, check our settings as always. We don't want to be sharing any misinformation. We're going to set the opponent to the wall and we're going to think about things. So we're talking about cross-ups at the wall. Now to elaborate, I'm not going to talk specifically about tech roll catches. There's a quite famous one where you go like this, you catch them back turned. Although the cross-ups we're using are catching people for tech rolling, I'm trying to look at the ones that give you a positional side swap opposed to catching the opponent back turned. So ones where Nina jumps over or phases through or ends up on the other side of the opponent. And that's what we're going to be looking at today. Alright, so where do we start? Let's look. For the opponent side, or quick side rolling left, it's quite tricky. Let's start with ones... Ooh. We can look at some the opponent's side, quick side left. So another common one that we see people do, things like this. So you notice it's kind of hard for me to catch here. What you want to do is you want to do a side step left yourself. And I didn't do a side step left. There you go. You notice I find this one a bit weird. You see how the timing, I'm often getting that second hit to whiff. But that's how you can catch them if you know they're going to take left there. But there are a few other ways you can do this, and there are some easier ways in my opinion. For example, if we go, oops. So what I'm doing is instead of ending in down forward 1, I'm doing a forward sway into a while standing 4 straight away. And now I'm stuffing it up. So I think what I'm doing there is I'm doing the quarter circle forward too fast. No, I'm doing too slow. Oh my god. I love how I do it the first time and then I can't replicate it. Oh, this just leads to my next trick that I was going to talk about anyway. There you go. So it's just about getting used to the timing. Yeah. But what you can do here... Sorry, the other one you can end with is while standing 1. So while standing 1's another good one to catch here. And what I feel you can do to make things more consistent... Oops, sorry. Is if you sidestep to the left. Yeah. Sidestepping to the left beforehand is just often a great idea, something to do for Nina's Oki in general. So that's how you can use the quarter circle forward to cross up in that situation. If we've got someone going to the right though, you're going to notice here that's not going to work, obviously. You can't back turn catch them by going to the right. Not with that move. What you can do, however, is you can use a geyser cannon. So if I do this, that is a cross-up. And I did it with the jabs. Whoops. But if we do it with the while standing 1, you can get it to work too, although the jabs are easier. Oh, come on. Okay, yeah, it kind of depends on the character, to be honest. So the jabs are probably the way to go. And with the jabs as well. So the down forward 1, 2 when I'm saying the jabs. With that too. Oops. It's the same thing for the cross up that we're doing before. Oh, come on. I'm good at demonstrating this, aren't I? Yeah, there we go. So that's some good examples of how you can cross up left and right in some different scenarios there. Let's go over a few more though. Alright, this next one is probably one of my favourites, but it's probably one of the riskiest, least rewarding, and most inconsistent ones there is, unfortunately. So if you've got the opponent quick side rolling left, what you can do is you can use the absurd hitbox of up forward 3+4 to cross them up. Now there are a few different timings you can do here, but the one I find best is really jumping. Oh, sorry. Is it this one? Yeah, there we go. So what you do, down forward 1-2, sidestep, dash into it. Yeah. What you're essentially doing is you're trying to get as far off axis as you can. So I'm sidestepping there, then I'm dashing there, and I get it. Depending on the character, you can do it in different ways. So you just saw then I sidestepped, I went the opposite direction, and it still caught. So that's a fun one you can do. But if I put them on quick roll right, it usually whiffs if you do that. Some characters, depending on their hurt boxes, you can actually make it work there. Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty inconsistent, unfortunately. So some characters you can just do it right away, and you're really just going to have to test. Other characters you need that bit of a delay, and I find that the forward dash helps with that delay. Yeah. Let's see if we can get it one more time. Yeah, so that's a very common outcome from it, but it's really good on a big read if you know they're going to tech roll. And it's just a fun way to catch people with a cross-up using such a funny move of Nina's. So I quite like that one for a cross-up. Yeah. Next I want to talk about her Season 3 cross-ups. So, I'm pretty sure this won't work with them side rolling right. But in Season 3, she got the forward sway from this. You can see here that's not going to cross up at all. But if we go left, actually this won't cross up either, what am I thinking? That won't cross up. So what goes on here, what if they wake up backwards? I forget what happens if they wake up backwards. Yeah, okay, it crosses up, but it doesn't quite work, does it? So it hits them, but not quite. So what happens here is you get a cross up, but it's actually just like a counter hit. So if they do a get up attack, you get a combo off it. But that's about it for that scenario. But we have other options we can do. So this is where a slightly delayed quarter circle forward 2 can work. So there you can see they just block it. There they just block it again. There's no risk there. If we do a get up mid kick, okay, that was a bad timing. Okay, I think I'm doing it too fast. There we go. It'll beat the get up kicks and it'll cross up with it. If we do a wake up backward, it also crosses up. That way it won't, but it keeps you at the wall. So it's a cross up in a different scenario with them doing different things. And you can get this, it's pretty funny because you can get this in other ways too, like this. Which is pretty hilarious, isn't it? But it's a cross up based on them doing an action. So it's a little bit different. It's not about them blocking incorrectly, unless they do the wake up backwards. but even then it looks like they can't get up in time. You can replicate this with this, if you time it right. Yeah. And likewise, that. But once again, it's not going to work if they tick, so it's not so useful. But it is extra Oki that you can use there, so it's worth keeping in mind. So those are some other examples of some cross-ups you can do. Alright, so the last one we're going to look at, I think, will be the jump over cross-ups. So a lot of characters have these, but they all set them up in slightly different ways, and I'm sure there are many more ways than what I'm suggesting, but bear with me for this and explore yourself. So we've got them quick side roll left, like that. So they are still having to block the opposite direction. Likewise, if they do a quick side roll right, yeah. So it's a pretty easy cross up to replicate and to catch people. And it's right that we want that. I can't remember what directions catches. I'm pretty sure it's sidestep right. Another common one you see, which won't work right now, the jump over. This one's a bit more complicated than people may realise. What you actually need to do to make the jump over, then cross up down 1, or cross up back turn down 1, down 2 to work, is you need to be off axis. So, like there. Okay, I've got it the wrong way then. So, side roll left. Like that. So you need to be off axis, then jump over. And those options are guaranteed. So you do that. If you hit them with the back turn down 1, you get a free while standing 1, 1 plus 2, or while standing 4, 3. But yeah, you need to be off axis to do it. Pretty sure it doesn't work the other way. No. Oh, it does. Sorry. So it works depending on if they tick roll right, you need to sidestep right. If they tick roll left, you need to sidestep left. Yeah. And that's why it's quite inconsistent. People do it front on, they jump over, and they're like, what? It didn't work. Why didn't it work? That's why. You need to be off axis in the particular way, depending on the way that the person is sidestepping. Alright. Well, that's it for my wall cross-up video. I hope you all enjoyed it. I should make sure you're all aware too, with the exception of the jump over ones, where you jump over and then do the dick jab, these can generally be beaten just by neutral guarding. If they're not hitting the person from behind, then neutral guard should be blocking it. But anyway, it's very interesting tech. It can be very creative. Nina has a lot of exciting things you can do based on cross-ups and just wall tech in general. I hope you enjoyed it. Which ones do you like the most? Are there ones that I didn't mention that you quite like using? There are many more that I haven't mentioned. I also encourage you all to look at these different options, whether it be the quarter circle forward 4, the geyser cannon, the jump over, the STFU, quarter circle forward 3, the jump over dick jab, anything like that. I encourage you to test them on multiple characters, because sometimes the timing and the situation does change. So please keep that in mind and look into these things yourself. Don't do it solely on the videos you've watched. Thank you everyone, and I'll catch you next time.
You win.
What's done is done.